Well, hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, and that means it's time for another fantastic, thrilling episode of the Bodacious Professionals. That's right. I use the word bodacious to describe six very handsome gentlemen, and I count as all six, and then I've got the five guys with me because that's how manly I am, and it's my channel, so I can say that. Citizen Ronan is in the house. Chris Thacker, Miss Stippling, H is for Heretic, Zaid Comics, hello, Post Muckley, what is up, everybody? We will be one guy short tonight. Graham Nolan is not going to be able to make the show, and everybody's in the back room except for one guy. I'll bring everybody in, and you guys in the chat, this will be a fun game. Start guessing who is not in the back room. And remember, Graham won't be joining us. So start guessing, but there's only one guy I have an intro for, so you can don't have to guess this guy.
Got bigger, pretty face and a real nice figure. Shoot your shot.
Do you see how big that black one was?
You know, Aaron, I tell you, I know
old.
we're friends. We've known each other 20-some years. The only time you call me is on Tuesday afternoon when it's my turn to host to remind me to play your intro. And I'm like, dude, I won't forget. Relax. Jeez.
All right. Well, if people want to believe that, like, they want to believe that the Earth is flat or the space land, the moon landing was faked, they can believe whatever they want.
I hear you. All right. Well, let's bring in our next guy. His birthday wasn't last night. That was Mike Barron, who turned 75. But Art was born like a day after Mike. So close enough. Hello.
Hello. Hey, you know what, Aaron? I heard this today. The moon is made of cheese.
Can you prove that, Art?
We can debate it. I have a couple videos and I got some testimonials. We can get into this.
As long as it's blue cheese. Do you guys like blue cheese?
I don't. On a salad, it's not bad with some dressing to kill the taste.
And, everybody around me thinks I'm crazy, but I love blue cheese.
I love it. Have you had it crumbled onto a burger?
Oh my gosh. Yes, it's like the best. The best. I do it on pizza now too. Like you go to Mod Pizza where you make, your own topping.
Dude, I love Mod Pizza.
I always have them throw blue cheese on there too.
Do you get the thicker one? The mega dough?
No,
really?
Just the thin one.
Oh my God, the mega dough is so good.
I want to feel like I'm eating healthy.
Then get the cauliflower dough, you puss bag. Jesus, let's bring a man in.
No, sometimes I do that.
There's a man.
Yeah, spread it on a steak. Lights.
Yes, blue cheese on a steak.
Camera.
You know what?
I'm
I've been around for a while
right
now, but I've never heard puss bag before.
Puss bag? That's an 80s
Art's
thing.
been around for decades.
You might have been in the old folks' home.
I've seen a lot of shit.
See, Dan knows. He's heard it.
Puss bag, hell yeah. It's an 80s thing.
I guess
What
maybe I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know when you put bag into
Hey, you know what? As a father of
is that like a cat in a bag?
kids
Yes.
with different age groups, they have different vernaculars, all of them do. And I just didn't realize how fast it moved for us. Because remember when stuff was grody? Or
grody to the max.
Grody to the
Cooties.
max. Gag me with a spoon.
Gag me with a spoon, yeah.
Yeah, but you know the one word that has not gone out of fashion? I'm not even making a joke.
Awesome and dude.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Who hasn't gone out of fashion? Kids still say cool. I feel so old saying that, but kids still say it's cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
you know what?
My daughter's like, Dad, that's cool.
Yeah, kids are saying dig it now. They're saying dig it.
Oh, I still say
right.
right.
I say dig them and I dig into a bowl
album.
of cereal.
Yeah.
That was that frog, right? Dig 'em. That was dig 'em.
Dig 'em the frog.
Dig
yeah.
'em.
Sugar
It was sugar
all the way.
smacks. And then that sounded too, I don't know, druggy / bad for kids, so they changed it to honey smacks.
Did they?
Yeah. Try to find sugar smacks out there.
That sounds like it would be some kind of police code for like a domestic squabble.
Sugar smacks.
honey smacks.
Guys, we got a sugar smacks going on the corner of Elm.
Wait a minute. I just Dan Fraga.
What did you do?
I'm smacking my. What is Aaron doing?
The
What?
honey
Trying
smack.
to get my lighting adjusted. See how it's like I'm dark.
Yeah, I can tell.
I look like David Williams.
Whoa, what is that supposed to mean? Wow. Did you hear what he just said?
What'd he say?
He said, "You see how dark I am? I look just like David Williams."
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Does he not turn his camera on?
The next thing he's going to say, the next thing Aaron's going to say is, "I look so dark. It reminds me of Art Shirt Inko."
Yeah.
What?
Well, I'm getting there.
Huh?
It's a little- you know what it is?
You know,
It's this.
it-
There. Once I
Oh,
get rid of
hey,
that-
fellow kids.
Hello, hello,
Yeah,
kids.
Citizen Ronan got
Shadow
that
off
right.
your face. Yeah.
Get the light
Holy
off my
shit.
face, or the shadow off my face. Yeah, there you go.
Well, you know,
Andy,
before we
what-
get
what
going,
we-
hopefully
Well, I don't know
Billy
if
will
it's an
join us.
improvement. Maybe I should.
What are we talking about tonight?
Well, why is it the light? I thought that you reach like this. Isn't the light in front of you coming this way?
Well, no. This is it's the
getting it to
camera.
adjust.
Sometimes I do that so it readjusts the camera.
Like auto
lighting.
balances,
Oh,
Yeah.
you know?
See, but
You don't
'cause I'm
have a
moving
separate
back and
program
forth.
to go into to adjust the
think-
camera?
Yeah. Well, that's for smart people.
Got
Smart
it.
people. I don't know any of those.
I know. Well, you're on a Mac, aren't you, Dan?
Dan's a smart
No.
person.
No.
Oh, look at that. Dan's going all mono. Oh.
Wait a minute. See,
I
how do
want
you do that? I
justice.
can't. I want to do stuff like that. Why
I
can't I, do
want
stuff like that?
justice.
I don't
want
have those
Dan's on
options on
Justice.
the
Justice.
Dan's on a PC, so he can do things like that.
I'm not.
See?
I'm on a Mac. I'm on a Mac.
Oh,
I'm on a 2008 Mac, to be
Oh.
exact.
Yeah, well, where are
No.
those controls at? Where are you doing the controls at?
Uh,
On
I
preferences?
bought a. It was like $3.99 on the App Store, and it's called Webcam Settings Control.
Oh,
But wait, Dan, are you using a separate webcam or the one on the computer? On the
Separate
Mac.
webcam. Separate webcam.
See, Aaron's not. Aaron, you're
Yeah,
using the one
see,
that's on the
that's
computer.
thing. There it is.
Yeah,
Hi, baby
Aaron's
girl.
not using a separate one. Hello, little one.
Well, it'll do it with the built-in camera. Oh, look, this is brought to you by Athletic, a
Athletic.
delicious beverage.
Which one is? Oh, that's the IPA.
Yeah, no, I've tried them all except Andre Kromoff sent me a picture of one today that I have yet to see.
Oh, show it to me.
Yeah, hold on, let me pull it up.
I might have to go grab one. I got one in the fridge downstairs.
Yeah, look at it. This one is their light, athletic light.
Oh, you know what? I saw that at the store. I
Did
was
you?
just like,
they
eh.
didn't have it. So the ones I have the golden, the hazy, the regular, and the one that they call cerveza, which is like their Mexican lager. They're all
You know what
great.
the great part is with that beer? You can leave it out, and if your kids want to try and get one over and go, "Oh, Dad left an open beer," you can be like, "Whatever, it's non-alcoholic."
Yeah, and they really try to hide it too. It's like only up here. Everything else.
That's right.
says-
What's the
Interesting.
point if it's not alcoholic though?
Oh,
Da-
I'll tell
okay.
you, Art. Wait, Andy and I talked about this today. Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Dan really said that beer is really good, so I'm like, I'll try it. So I got a 6-pack of it, right, of the golden type, kind of blue moon type, and I was like, holy crap, this tastes like real beer. This does not taste like normal garbage, non-alcoholic beer, right? And the point is, I can bust one out midday while I'm working and not feel any effects from drinking a couple beers.
Art's going to ask the question again.
Why?
He's going to ask the
I'm just
question
saying.
again.
I'm just
Here's
that's why
here's
I
the
like
answer.
it, dude. Seriously.
No, I like
Because
that-
there are times where I'll go to a brewery with a friend with the intent of slamming back 5 or 6 beers, and we'll
Yes.
take an Uber home or something. But then there are
That's a
times
good
that I do like to taste the beer, but I don't really want to deal with, a slight headache the next morning or something. So I'll just
see, for me, it boiled
Good.
down to this very simply. I like the taste of beer with food. It goes with food. Beer paired with a hamburger is awesome. I told my wife I wasn't going to drink as much as I had been, which, I was drinking for the tremors. And I pretty much cut it all out. But every time we'd have tacos or pizza or burgers, I'm like, oh, I want IPA so bad. Not to get lit, but just that 1-2.
Manly gusto.
They have Tex-Mex, like amazing Tex-Mex here, and man, cervezas, beer.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. But what if you had to be spry that day? You know what I mean? Like
That's right.
I can power one of these.
Beer would be fine. I could probably do 3 beers and I'd still be spry.
Well, you're Art
You're a
Thibert.
rock and roller.
If
Art.
I had 3
Yeah,
beers, I'd be like,
you were
let me
snorting.
take a nap.
You were snorting blow off of whores when you were a rocker in the 80s, Art. I mean, come on.
If I was snorting blow off whores, I would be able to drink like a 12-pack plus like, a couple shots of tequila.
See,
Zane Comics says I tried to sell
For the
him.
people out there that don't know, if you do Coke, you can go all night. You can drink.
I won't touch it. I won't touch it. Phil from Zaid says I tried to
You
sell
won't
him
touch
on
me?
beer at Heroes.
Why won't
I
you
won't.
touch
No, I in fact I
need to
have
be
a-
touched, man.
I have a staunch rule that it has to, and I've broken the rule twice. One time I regretted
I
it.
don't like your rules.
No, it's it has to have come from the ground and not been processed in any sort of chemical way. So cannabis, yes. Psilocybin, yes. Cocaine, never will, never have, never will, never will, never will.
But crystal
coca-
meth will do because that's all natural.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. The blue stuff. Oh, yeah. No, but no, I tried acid, of course. And then in the early 2000s, the big one was ecstasy. I hated it.
You're a big shroom guy, right? That's as
Oh yeah, I
natural.
love them.
That's
They're
as
great.
natural as you get, boy.
Yeah.
all right, it's a drug show. Okay, let's get on topic. You two druggies
We're
can
talking
have your
about
own
passage
stream.
of time. We're talking about a Spider-Man issue.
All right,
That they
Here's
had to
what
take the
we're-
code off of.
that's true. They
because-
did.
Yeah. See, call
Look
comes
at that. I got
around.
$5 from you guys. Let's see. Kino Reviews, $5. Thank you very much. To Andy and Dan, sorry if I didn't have any quality beers in Jersey. Poor planning on my end. Hope you enjoyed them. I did.
Wait.
Oh, no, I
he
did
gave us
enjoy
the,
those.
The Mandalorian and the
Yeah.
other one. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, let me just tell you, Kino, Mandalorian was delicious.
Glorious.
Yes. The Boba Fett was like drinking
Little
vomit
sour.
out of
Yeah.
like a hobo's butthole.
Yeah, that no, seriously.
I wasn't
Dan
ready
had it
for
at the show.
I was not.
Dan
ready
had it
for
at the show, and he's like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Try this," and I tried it. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's really sour."
I was
I
expecting.
mean, that is.
I didn't like read the label till after. I'm like, oh, the Mandalorian was like a nice IPA. Oh, boba. Maybe it's whatever. Wow. It was a sour, ice cream boba tea, strawberry kiwi thing.
It was something.
No, not
But
bro.
the cans are
I am
nice.
absolutely grateful. Absolutely
Yes.
grateful. But yeah, that one. That was when
Wait,
you go to.
I have to go back. Did Andy say it tastes like moose sap?
No,
What'd you say?
I said it tasted. The boba one tasted so sour. It was just
Super sour.
But you
super
said
sour. I said super sour. I think. I don't know.
Okay,
We'd have to go back and watch the tape.
I heard moose sap.
Well, I mean,
That's
that's the first thing that
We're
goes when you get
Canadian.
old, Art, is your hearing.
The
How dare
Canadian
you.
ways.
I know.
How
Well,
dare
All right, guys. Here's what we're
should-
talking about. I've often thought about this in comics a lot. Is the thumbnail for the show said "Passage of Time in Comics," and what I mean by that is you have and I actually googled it, and there's actually a Wikipedia for it, so I can give a definition for this one called floating timeline, which is basically and this is a great example that they use. Floating timeline. The Archie comics feature characters who
Archies.
do not age, despite
Yes.
references to various time periods over the course of the series. Similarly, Hergé's Tintin comics take place from the 20s to the 70s, while Tintin and other characters do not age. So it's like the floating timeline. That's kind of what
Yes.
I think we all grew up with
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
You look at Spider-Man. I started reading Spider-Man in the 80s when J.R. Jr. was drawing it.
Same.
But I mean, hell, when I got back issues from the 70s and before, it was basically same age and stuff. Just cars were drawn different because you want to keep up with the look of things, but the character age, stays roughly the same. And
there
then
was a practical reason for that, because when I broke in the business, they said there's a 10-year window. So you have like kids from a certain age to a certain age, but this is 10 years. So
dude,
then
that's how it was when I got in.
so then it just recycles. So after 10 years, they kind of run that. So that's a generation. And then, they go to the next.
Yeah, but
generation.
I don't think what you're saying is, so real quick before I address that, the other one is really obvious, and that's real time. And the one book that comes to mind that does real time is Savage Dragon. That book takes place in real time. So like the original dragon is gone, he's dead, whatever. I mean the book's a shit show now anyhow.
Every month is a month of real time. So like from issue to issue, that's a month. From issue to issue, it's a month.
It's doesn't come out, Eric, it's not every month. Even if it's every 3 months, it's still real time. So if it's winter out here, it's usually winter in the book, and so on and so forth. And characters age, die, whatever. I'm not, if I ever did a monthly book, if I was fast enough to do my own monthly book, I would never do real time. I would do that floating time. But with the 10-year thing, Art, I know what you're saying, because I remember that as well. But still, it's not like they aged Peter Parker from 16 to 26 and then reset 10 years later.
I want to hop on this for a second.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, Aaron. And I want to piggyback on to what Art's saying. It goes back to this analogy that I had about comics and that 10-year cycle. Let's just call that a ride at Disneyland. And they can go to another ride, which is, they're excited about something else, and they leave comics and they go to another ride. We have always had, at least in my lifetime until recent years, a constant circulation of new blood.
Mm-hmm.
And what has happened is that there hasn't been as much new blood, and people are staying on the ride longer than 10 years. And those people don't want to read the story they read 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So then Peter Parker has to get married. And
exactly.
Peter Parker has to go get a job at the university, even though he loves photography. But
see, I don't think that's necessarily true, because like all of us are long-term. I mean, I'm still a long-term reader, and I wouldn't care if he was still, kind of like I said off before screen. Go ahead.
Hang on a second. So I agree with both of you to a certain degree. When $2,
thank you. Okay.
When your character is an adult, like Captain America or something like that, they're already an adult. Okay. But Peter Parker is a rare exception, because he starts off in high school. And what Art was saying, and then Dan is correct, that you had from, let's say the start of the Silver Age, 1962, through somewhere in the 80s, where things changed, where you had the 10-year cycle. You pick up a comic book when you're 9 years old or 8 years old. You read it till you're 16. You get a car, you get girlfriends, and you leave comics. Then the next group of young people come in. So you don't have to age the character, right? Because you have a new audience coming in. You have to worry about it. And then the 80s come along, and we get, more adults staying with comics. So they get older, right? And so they want the characters, especially the young ones, because when I go and see Spider-Man movies with, who's the British kid that plays
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yeah. And he's in high school. I don't have a lot of interest at my age of watching high school kids. I just don't.
It makes me feel like the old days.
Nah. And so it's the same way with comics. I think you read it and you're like, I don't care about his high school problems. I already was in high school. I'm out of high school. So you have to cater to that adult audience. It makes it a lot harder to do that floating timeline. But, and then I'll leave it to you guys. But if you have an already adult character like Captain America, Batman, whatever, they don't have to age, right? They don't have to turn into a 60-year-old man, because they're already adults. I just think that Spider-Man is a problem because he started off as a young character.
Well, and that's why I said I think you could take him to college and leave him there, because since he's part of that shared universe, you can't obviously start aging up Spider-Man and nobody else.
That's true.
One of the other, and I think it was John Byrne that said going back to like your example, Aaron, you don't want to read about Spider-Man, in high school and stuff. You just don't care. You can't connect with it. I can't remember the exact quote, but I remember Byrne saying on his message boards years ago, basically like, yeah. And then you either move on and read something else and you don't read Spider-Man anymore, or you just keep reading it, because at that point you're not the target audience anymore.
Right.
But what I
You
think happened is, like, a lot of these guys we're talking about, and when these rules were in place, it was early comics, right? So you had like first generation creators, things like that. So that's how they were thinking to move forward. But then you have a generational thing, and you have artists that have grown up with it. So they're probably secretly, creatively, there's that bug that wants to age them up, right? That wants to see a different Batman or a different Spider-Man or whatever. So creatively, you probably don't want to tell those same stories as well. So you want to tell new stories. So part of it's a generational thing, but part of it maybe is just a creative thing. And also the problem with comic books is modern comics, they don't know who their audience is. And they haven't known for a long time. Because remember
that
when
I
they
agree with. Yeah.
launched the New 52, they actually made it was a mandate or whatever. They said, we're making comics for adults. They said that. So they had just given up on the younger market, and they were just placating the older audience.
That's exactly what I was saying about the ride. That they had to make the ride because comics were in big trouble, are in big trouble, were in big trouble, whatever. I'll
always
take
in
them to
big
the grave.
trouble.
Yeah, I know you're right, Aaron. But the idea that we didn't leave the ride, so we want to constantly new whatever. But Andy's right in that they can say you're no longer our target audience. Because I had this weird epiphany. I was working for Diamond Comics. This was 1991, and I was looking at a McFarlane Spider-Man where he's fighting Scorpion. It's like 319, 320, and my buddy Fred, who also he's celebrated 75 years this year, or last year, this year. Anyhow, he's like, the same old fight, huh? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, you know how many times he's fought Scorpion in the buildings, and they smash things and they banter, and he gets trapped up in webbing and gets taken off. I go, yeah, but not like this. This is the coolest ever. But then by the time Bagley's doing it, I like Mark's work. I'm just like, I've seen that. I've seen it done better, cooler, and so if you're not getting the new blood coming onto the ride and you still want to survive, you have to, like Art said, aim for who is still on the ride, who is still paying to be there. And that's when you get these sort of the aged things and more complex things. I've always said, when 1991, let's go back to 1991 again, that I remember buying the Wolverine game for Nintendo. You guys remember that? And it had the Jim Lee Wolverine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
And I had to buy that shit because it was so fucking cool looking. Sorry, Sam. So really cool looking that I had to have the game. And then I got the game, and it was like Metroid with claws. It was like it was whack. But the exactly, Chuckles shirt says that game sucked. He was right. But the pinnacle of the coolest Wolverine could be was a comic book version of him. But then along comes the movies where Hugh Jackman looks really cool. Then comes the video games where it's looking pretty realistic. So as far as, catching the eye of I don't know how old you were. I was 10 when I got into comics, but catching that 10-year-old's eye is going to take something different than a comic book image. And I found that with Harrison. If I grabbed a Pokemon comic and said, here, buddy, check this out, he'd go, I don't want this. But he saw the card game, then the cartoon, then the video game, and when he found out there were comics, he's like, I gotta have them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that kids won't want them. It's sort of almost a point of entry problem.
Yeah, that's all changed, right? Comic books
Right.
used to be the point of entry. Now it's like that's at the tail end. You got to get them
It
into these
is.
characters so they'll read comics.
Right.
Right.
But what's really kind of sad too is all of the beloved things out there, whether it's Dragon Ball, whether it's what does he say?
Okay, Kino reviews for $2. He sent
Oh.
this back after we were talking about the beer.
He
He didn't try the beer, so
Okay.
he said 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not
since you
bad.
didn't try it, stay away from the Boba Fett. And
Yeah,
thank
stay
you for
away
that.
from it for sure.
Load up on that other one.
Well,
That other
don't
one
you
was
guys
good.
think that I think the solution to this problem, they already came up with it, and then they didn't really use it correctly. But these you know, what do I want to say, not alternate states, but stuff that happens out of continuity, right? So
Oh,
the Killing Joke was not supposed to be continuity, but
Right.
The Dark Knight, Gotham by Gaslight. These
I
are
love that
comics geared for more adult audience, and they give you something different,
yes.
but they shouldn't affect your mainstream comic that hopefully you're still bringing a new readership in, and they can figure out who Batman is because it's still relatively, the same.
But what's crazy, when I worked at Mattel, they were having a problem. When I started there, their shares were $84. When I left, they were $13. They were cutting the tallest.
Now we know why Dan left.
No,
Yeah.
that's why I got laid off. They cut 2,500 people. My department was 109 strong. By the time I got laid off, it was 6 strong. But what I said is that they didn't leverage their characters in the same way other people do. Because when you take a character like Robin from Batman and Robin, you have Robin in Teen Titans Go. He's silly, he's zany, and that is an incarnation of Robin, and that may be some kid's Robin. There's also Robin in the Justice League comic book, or not Justice League, Young Justice. You got Robin that was in the Batman that we all know. Then you have Nightwing, who is a piece of time aging, seeing a boy wonder become a man wonder, whatever. Yeah. And then you could take a character like Batman, same thing, Goofy. The Goofy Titans Go. You've got the Neil Adams version, the 60s version, the Frank Miller version, the I dress in black and talk like this version, right? Those are all Batman, right? And they all are on the shelf at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's like when they did Batman Black and White. None of those stories were in continuity. Those were just guys they hired because they were really good creators. They wanted to do this black and white, series. And they were like, what, 10-page series.
Yeah, it's a delicate dance because you've got people, older readers that want something different because like Art and Dan were saying that, you can't keep recycling the same Scorpion fight with Spider-Man over and over and over again if you don't have new readers coming in who haven't seen it before. So you got an older readership there, but a lot of that older readership is still into continuity, and yet they want something different. So it's hard to figure out how to manage those futuristic tales or tales that don't connect necessarily to your regular continuity that'll give you something new but still satisfy the people that want that continuity. And it is a challenging thing.
They try so many times, like DC's 52, for example, but in a certain way they throw the baby out with the bathwater. Or I thought one of the good ones that our man Art Thibert was a big part of was all the Ultimate stuff. I enjoyed that. Right. I really liked that take of the Avengers, and that's almost the Avengers we got in the Avengers movies. We got the Ultimates. Right. We didn't really get
we got the Ultimates, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And that Spider-Man that Thibert was on, that made me super happy because he was back in school again. And it was an up-timed, people had phones and things like that in the
Well,
internet.
I think that was probably like, I like the Ultimates, but Ultimate Spider-Man is probably handled the best because, like, I got Ultimate X-Men because of the Kuberts working on it.
Sure.
It's not that I hated the writing, but it just wasn't the X-Men to me. You know, because at least with Ultimate Spider-Man, the costume was the same. I mean, it was literally just like, hey, we're doing a brand new Spider-Man, like he was created in the year 2000, same origin story, same costume, but created in the year 2000. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But then with Ultimate X-Men, it was all these different designs, same characters, but, you know, go ahead. Art.
More, it's like passage of time, all the stuff that we're talking about. I think it comes down to management and what you want to do with it. And I just don't think there's a clear overview of what they want to do. Like where does this fall? Where does this fall? And then the publishers like the New 52 and they create these big like events like, oh, well, Crisis, you know, they took care of a lot of the timeline problems and all this other stuff. It's like, no, they didn't. They actually created more problems because as a reader, I never had a problem with Earth 1, Earth 2. I never had a problem. Captain Marvel is part of this universe. He's not part of ours. I never had a problem.
Well, not only that, but before Crisis, you had more opportunity because somebody could be like, well, I want to do a Superman story with, you know, the Golden Age Superman, you know, from whatever Earth he was, right? But like you said, with Crisis, since they got rid of all that and combined stuff, you just chuck that out the window, unless it was, you know, an Elseworlds thing. Which,
right.
You know,
so for me, there was the old continuity, with which was Earth 1 or Earth 2. I don't remember which one.
I don't even know.
And so supposedly that was like the original Superman, and then whichever one was in the Justice League and not the Justice Society, that was the current Superman, right? So you did kind of have a generational thing that you could gauge, like, this is your dad's Superman and this is your Superman, right, or however you want to look at it. And I never really had a problem with that. And I thought, just for as far as timelines and stuff like that, I think like somebody like Shazam, Captain Marvel should stay in his own universe, his own timeline. Like, I never thought that he was effective. He was just a backup Superman. And then they had to change the sensibility of the character in the universe to fit the DC universe, right?
Right.
All the uniqueness of the character and the tone and all that had to be thrown out the window so he could adapt to the DC universe. And I think
the continuity problem.
Right. They just destroyed the timeline of that character, the continuity. And I do think one of the other things is one and dones. Like the New 52 did say we were going to do one and dones. And I thought, okay, well, that's a good idea for timelines as well. So if you just tell a story, have it self-contained, then also if somebody actually buys one of the books, they don't have to buy 10 others, you know, so you can kind of suck them in with a one and done. And then you can kind of bypass some of that timeline continuity problems as well, because you're not like putting them in any kind of like epic timeline. It's just a story, a adventure.
Hey, hold on. I hear something.
There was only one man for the job.
It was Billy Tucci.
There he is.
Rolling in late. Come on, Billy.
I know.
Shitty dick. Got a lot going on. Sorry.
Here's
the main thing
it's
that
okay.
We keep not saying, because we keep saying comics, comic books. It's still a business, right? Like, but the wonderful thing is we're all in the comics business, but we're in the make the fans happy business, whereas shareholders want publishers to be making money, and they put down on editorial, we need to make money, and they create things like 1 in 150 covers to create incentives for the retailer to buy more. So they're trying to sell to an adult audience, they're trying to force numbers, and the last person being thought of is the fan. You know what I'm saying? Because
just to clarify, I don't think they're doing it for like a corporate shareholder. I think they're trying to do that just to survive. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because most of the
yeah.
time DC and DC especially was always a tax deduction for their corporate overlord.
Was it
They
really?
Yeah,
never,
dude. I heard that in 1991 when I first started up in the offices.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
do you think maybe we have, maybe by accident or maybe by design, that we as our independent creators, Comicsgate and, this whole sort of arena that we're in, that we've maybe sort of stumbled on the perfect adult formula for adult readers, because almost all of our audience is adult readers, and then they'll
Right.
give their kids the comic or something like that. I have families that do that, but
Yeah.
we're presenting books because we have to charge $25. We're trying to give people more value than just 32-page floppy, right? So we're giving these guys graphic novels essentially that are self-contained stories, but keep the series going, right? So,
Right.
which enables us to then have the time in between issues where people are not hanging, I have a cliffhanger for a year to get it paid off. And is this a formula maybe going forward that is more adaptable to the changes in the audience than
Well,
trying to keep that sort of timeline with Spider-Man and all that kind of
I
stuff?
think that was, I
That's a
can't
good point,
remember.
by the way.
Somebody didn't.
It
Hey,
is.
Billy, did Palmiotti bring that up at one point, saying basically shifting to, instead of monthly floppies, but going to like oversized, kind of the 64-page count, whatever Superman book, maybe every 3 months. You can charge more for
that. I don't remember.
I swear I can't remember who said it, but it was within the past 5 or 6 years that another pro said, maybe instead of floppies, going towards the model that we're basically doing. They should go towards that.
The European models like that, and also
Right.
if you think about Mike Mignola's Hellboy is like that. Where there's like story arcs that he puts out like once a year or whatever it is, but it's not monthly.
Right. And
I'm
think
curious
that
about this now myself.
I think that floppies were originally designed, they're extremely cheap. Originally were designed to be that way. So it wasn't a big deal for a kid to go lay out 10 cents or 20 cents or 15 cents, 12 cents every month to get Spider-Man or whatever. Now when they're $5,
yeah,
you're following multiple titles, you're spending a fortune every month. And it's like, well, why not invest that money in a bigger read? And then, that maybe, and it's long enough, right? Like, for example, I'll just use my book because I did it, is that Wraith of God, the first one is essentially a 4-issue miniseries. It's 80 pages.
Right.
So you're getting 4 issues of material. And when you read that much material, you sit it back a couple months later, you're like, I'm going to go read that again because you're not getting every month. So you keep people getting multiple readings of your graphic novel, which gives you time then to present the next graphic novel, which people are waiting for. And I think that maybe, I don't think DC or Marvel ever do that, but it seems like maybe with an adult audience, that is a better strategy long term.
It becomes a one and done kind of situation. And the reason the publishers like Marvel and DC still do the floppies is because of the comic shops, because that's how they get people in every week. They have the Wednesday drop and they have all the new books. And so that's when they get the traffic to come in. And so without that pattern, I don't know what would happen to the comics industry.
Well, the comic shops, like they came in 1979 about and saved the industry because the newsstand was giving us the boot. But now, are we coming to that point in time where the comic shops, that format doesn't really work anymore?
Yes. Well, because the technology, much like the music industry, when back in 1993, when I did my demo, and Rob Liefeld helped produce it, and we went to a studio and all that stuff, one of my jobs was to price out how much it would cost to actually get the equipment to do it. And the price tag on a minimum, like a whack ass version was like 30 grand in 1993 money. And he's like, yeah, I'm not spending that because it was a couple grand at a studio. Right. But all that studio had all the keys to the magic. Right. But now, musicians have all the keys to the magic on their iPad.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And they can make a full album using their iPad and do it. And it's the same thing when I broke into comics. While I had an understanding of things like pre-press and all of that, the distribution system and all these other things had gatekeepers essentially. And we were so reliant on those gatekeepers. But now we just need a good printer, our skills, and the post office.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
that's a big difference.
Yeah, I'm really curious about this because we're back in Diamond starting in
Yeah.
we did in August with a floppy. So we're in
Right.
I think August is when the first She book comes out. So I'm really curious as to what our numbers are going to be because I'm not sure. And we're doing the Return of the Warrior #1. Return of the Warrior was 48 pages, so that's broken down into 2 issues or 52 pages. Broken down into 2 issues on cheaper paper, more affordable paper. How about that? Not as prestige format like we did.
Right.
No hardcovers. And the price is, and it's 4 years after the first one came out, so that's how we're doing it. Because we owe everything to our crowdfunders.
Of course.
But you want to expand the brand and get into comic shops because, like I said, we're Kings. We're CG. We do Kickstarters. We do Indiegogos. You're still going to be astonished, right? Of how many people have no idea that have never bought a Kickstarter.
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They're like, yeah.
The bigger thing, and I'm speaking about retailers that I know personally. They're all the ones that I know are really good people and got into it not to make money. They got into it to be in the comic business. And they love comics and they love the people that come in, and that there's a sense of community within those shops. And I feel like shops are incredibly important, though I think what is going to need to happen is a restructuring, like the distribution and the way it's done right now, that might not be the way. I mean, it's old and trusted, but so are the railroads and,
Yeah. No, you're right. I think there's going to be some sort of reconfiguration here eventually. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Somebody had in the chat was a good question. It's not exactly timeline question, but it is an interesting question about, should companies be killing their heroes and villains? I mean, is that really, I never thought that was a good idea, because if you're going to kill somebody, why, like when they killed the Green Goblin, it's like, they must have regretted that 2 seconds after they did it, because all they kept doing was bringing back Green Goblin characters, right?
Right.
And now they do it just for sales with the intention of, well, we'll figure out a way to bring him back.
Yeah.
Right. Like Phoenix.
I don't like that. I mean, it's good. It does work good for a single story, but in the long big picture, it's always a mistake.
But it's like we were talking, like you brought up, like the Elseworlds things. Like there's ways of doing this. The comics industry has figured all this stuff out. It's just that they don't. The comics industry finds one thing and then they exploit it to the nth degree, and then they go on to something else. But if all these ideas could be implemented at the same time, then it could work. Like, why did you get rid of Vertigo? Vertigo was the next transition for readers, right? We're talking about timelines, ages, stuff like that. Well, you could go from comics, the DC universe, to Vertigo. So college level stuff, it's written for adults.
Yeah.
Things like that. You can do that. Like Marvel had the Epic line. You can do more adult stuff. DC had the Elseworlds. You can do that and just aim that at the adult audience and do the floppies for the kids, and then make sure that the floppies are, like thinking about a 10-year age, like you go like a decade.
Think about that 10-year thing we were talking about earlier. Yeah.
Right. And then make sure that those kids have access to the book in a more universal way than go into a specialty shop. Not that specialty shops
we
are
may
bad.
also have a what do they call it? Not your dad's We have that problem, because when I think about, I talk to my dad and I talk to him about, like, you were in your 20s when Marvel came out, Dad. What comics did you buy? Oh, I like Black Hawk, Phantom, Flash Gordon, Zorro, you know, and you go, those don't sell in 2024. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of nichey. Like if Sean Gordon Murphy does an issue or something, or somebody revitalizes it in a special way. And I have my kid who's 10 who loves things like Chainsaw Man and, you know, different things that are not, he doesn't watch Star Wars. He didn't care about Star Wars. He didn't, you know.
I got news. Neither does anybody else anymore.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
But what I'm saying is there comes a time where it's like they don't want at least the new kids, they don't want, that's my dad's.
Yeah.
Right. But there's a key to that as well, because I remember this was a documentary and they were saying why are the Beatles and certain bands like still like in the zeitgeist? Like, why do kids still know these songs or these bands? And it's because of branding. Like every couple years they put out like a compilation, or they do something, or like the Beatles will go, they'll team up with Cirque du Soleil, you know, and they'll do like the thing or whatever,
which was awesome.
Right. And those versions, they kind of re-edited them and chopped them up, and they're pretty good. They got what's his name, George Martin, to do it all. But you know, like they do stuff like that. And then the idea was like, well, why don't the Kinks have a great library, but why does nobody know? They know the songs that people covered. They had a certain level of success, but they don't have that level of success.
You know who's the master?
Nobody's putting it out. Nobody's getting it in front of people. So like, you know how you were talking about the Phantom, Flash Gordon, like these characters, they're not relevant because nobody's doing anything with them. So to tie back to comics, the reason like Spider-Man is because Spider-Man keeps, you know, there's movies, there's this, there's that, there's the other thing. So it always kind of stays relative to a current audience. So you can do it with older characters, but you just have to be aware of that. You like Black and White was 94, right? A Black Flag 94. But like you and I, Dan, we stopped making them, but Billy didn't. So she stayed in the zeitgeist, like generationally. So as far as branding, boom, boom, boom.
I think you're spot on. And I always use metaphors and other examples because I think for some people it works. For me, it works. But if you look at the hip hop industry and you look at rappers, right, and you go, hey, I'm going to name a rapper from 10 years ago, Wiz Khalifa. What's he doing now? Where's Chief Keef now? Where's MC Hammer? Where's that? But guess what? 30 plus years going strong, Snoop Dogg. Everybody fucking loves Snoop Dogg because you go in the supermarket and there's a stack of his wine. Because it's exactly what you're saying. The branding.
Yeah. So let me, if I can go back though about what Aaron was saying about killing our characters, and you see that, like going back to like Bucky dead. The characters actually, they're not really dead. So you can come back from being dead. And you want to hear what's crazy? But once you go gay, there ain't no coming back.
Iceman can't go back.
Iceman can't just can. Yeah, fuck that. I like a girl now. Yeah, but what about your past? Yeah, nah, fuck
That's what happens when you don't let Iceman get laid by chicks in the 80s. He's like, F it, I'm going for dudes.
Yeah,
and
he's like, oh man, I was high when I did that.
One time in Xavier's school when he wasn't around, I experimented.
Right? Think about it. Though. Like
go ahead.
I'm trying to say that they're bisexual. They're not saying they're gay too. They're saying that Robin the Twink is bisexual and all this, but you can't go back. Well, maybe I don't know. I think we're kind of hitting that high water mark of this. A lot of this.
High water mark.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest. I mean, look how tame a lot of that was for the most part until like this past weekend was the Pride Month stuff compared to last year and the year before. So it's kind of like, I think we might be stepping, maybe there's not as many people that we thought, You know,
I think they misjudged it anyways, because I don't think sales went up when they started placating.
It
You know,
didn't.
sexuality.
No,
and
well,
things
we
like
talked about it briefly last night. I mean, you know, DC and Marvel both do their Pride Month books and all that, and it's like, okay, whatever. But talking about, you know, who's your audience? Who are you selling to? If it's a good story, you don't have to pander like
Right.
that.
Sam?
And how many people are buying those books? The audience buying comics didn't just over the past 10 years go from 98% straight and 2%, you know, gay to 50-50.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Those DC Pride books and Marvel Pride books, I go to cons, I see them in dollar boxes and stuff.
Well, the problem too is that their marketing was that if you didn't buy these books, you're a bigot.
Okay.
That's how they responded. If the books weren't doing well, then you're homophobic or something. It's like, no.
You know, that there's one company that I thought made a big misstep, and they could have. I mean, I understand their whole brand is Taste the Rainbow, but did you know that Skittles for Pride Month, they have no colors?
What?
They're literally all white.
Dude.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I haven't seen that.
Dead ass. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just like flip it for like do for a year of just the no colors, and then on Pride Month Taste the Rainbow?
Because I don't think that many people are into Pride Month as they think. I'm sure they researched this. I'm sorry.
It's a small niche.
Without this turning into a completely political show all of a sudden.
Yeah.
There is another thing on at the top of this, maybe, is that you've maybe Superman's run his course. Maybe Batman's run his course to a certain degree. Okay. So
public domain very soon, by the way.
Okay. So maybe, and this is maybe why some of us are seeing the success we're seeing in crowdfunding, is because finally the audience is ready to accept new characters where they never have been in the past. And maybe now is the time for Marvel and DC, if they had anybody working there that had some good ideas, to put out maybe a couple of new characters and really try to push them.
They did try with New Universe in 1986.
Yeah, but dude, that's 40 years ago.
Yeah, but 86 was too soon. I'm saying there was a period of time.
4 years ago.
38
years ago. Why you gotta say it like that, Billy? Damn.
Look at but that was during the period of time where, remember, the joke was always, you know, everybody always demanded new characters, and as soon as you give them to them, they wouldn't buy them. They still went back and bought.
Yeah, but
you got it. The New Universe characters stunk. I mean, those were.
But it wasn't the right
Force
time.
Moratorium or whatever.
That wasn't New Universe.
But it wasn't the right time, you guys.
Strike Force Moratorium wasn't a New Universe brand.
Star Brand, the one that JR did.
I thought you said Strike Force Moratorium.
I did. I said that, and then I shifted gears.
Oh yeah, no. Star Brand was, and they did. They put JR on it, but you know, not even he could make that.
Again, it wasn't. They haven't like pissed off their fans to a point where the fans wanted new stuff. Yeah. We're sort of in that realm right now where maybe some of that stuff would actually work if they would do good stuff.
Well, you're adding 40 years to that. So at that time in 86, Spider-Man was 24 years old. So he wasn't overexposed.
Right.
If still kids were buying it at the time. Right. How much was the cover price in 86 for a book?
$1.75.
Oh, so that's still affordable, right? Yeah. It's still affordable.
Right. But now that's what I'm saying. Now we're at a point where, you know, you made everybody gay. What's left to do beyond that? You know, well, I guess now you better start making new characters. Because as Billy said, you can't go back. You can't, you know, make a gay character straight again, because that would, you know, enrage everybody that you tried to placate in the first place.
Right.
So,
those 5 people would still not buy the books, but they'd complain.
They would be very pissed on Twitter.
They'd be very vocal.
We could make that work. Okay. Bobby Drake goes back to college and starts experimenting on straight women.
Yes, now we're getting someplace. Perfect, Art. Perfect.
He gets converted. He goes back straight,
Nah, dude, you do it like Dallas. You do it like Dallas, and he's in the shower. It was all a dream.
It was all a dream.
Hang on a
It's
second.
all a dream.
Except when he
then
turns
some dude
around and
rides
there's a
it
dude
up
behind him
behind
in the shower, and he's like, "No, it wasn't."
No, it wasn't.
David, hey, David Williams. I can't tell him what it is because it's his idea, and I'm not going to throw it out there.
No,
But you guys can work on him to see if he'll tell you. But he's got the best idea on how to fix the DCU and all this crap. It's brilliant, but he'll never do it. But it's really, really good. I just want to throw that out there to piss everybody off because I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I'm no longer. I mean, listen, I will still spend $1 on an old Spider-Man thing. You know,
Absolutely.
You know, when they released the Spider-Man, I guess that's how you say it, the Japanese Spider-Man with the wrist shooter and the cool tennis shoes, they released that action figure. I had to have it, right? But I'm no longer invested in anything new in Spider-Man. I'm no longer invested in anything new with Batman. I'm no longer
like competition now. That's how you have to look at them.
I don't even look at them.
There you go, boom. But I don't think of you. That's you have to say.
These are called posters.
Right.
Well, but is that maybe part of the age thing too for us as older creators? It's like we've been doing this stuff. Well, Billy hasn't because he's been doing the independent scene his entire career, with the exception of a few things. Most of us worked with
What are you doing, Dan?
the chaos.
Just showing you.
Fraga's camera.
Then you look at my Legos over there, and they're Spidey Legos. So yeah, that's Spider-Man.
But it's like you get to a point maybe where you're just like, give me something different. You know,
we are also so close to it and connected to it. We know, oh, so and so's working on the new Spider-Man book. Let's just say somebody, and I'm like, that guy's a fucking asshole. I'm not gonna support it. We know these guys,
Right?
You know these people who's a fucking degenerate and who bitches about everyone.
You're like, I'm not buying that shit. Screw that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like that fucking asshole.
we know too much.
You know what franchise managed it very well because it was built into the DNA for a while, for a decade or so, was the X-Men. So what the mindset like Bob Harris had is you get new teams in, right? And you let them create. So it's like, this is the new contemporary team, right? So they would come and basically revamp the entire team. And then they did that for at least a decade. And so that it always stays fresh. It always stays interesting. You have Larry Stroman come and redesign characters. Like there's all this stuff always happening. You have Joe Mad coming in later. So you had Jim Lee and Will, do their thing. And so you had it kind of built into the DNA that it was kind of always evolving and always changing. Somewhere along the line, they just kind of ditched that. But if you think about that as just like a mandate for the comics as a whole, like a mandate. Well, that's what they do, and like DC or Marvel, like they'll have like an editorial meeting and they go, well, this is what we're going to do, and so on and so forth. I mean, the thing is too, you got to give editors let them control the group of titles they have. But
that's how it was done back, in the day.
Right.
And now it's more top down.
Right, you could have an editor that could hire the team. So, like when I worked on Superman, there were 4 different titles, but there was a team that worked together, but they worked separately as well. You know what I mean? So then you had like change, and you had coherence, and you had continuity, you had timelines, you had all these things happening, and you had creative teams that were handpicked to basically draw and write.
I just thought about something, and it was based on a Monster High thing. One of the things that Mattel tried to do with Monster High, because it was going up and then it was waning, is they did this idea of vaulting, where they put it away. They put it away for a few years and let it transpire and then bring it out to a new generation. And they thought it was going to work, and it didn't. And what I think is different about our childhoods versus what's going on now is the access to information. So if we got a big reset, first off, let's put it this way. Any character we liked, there was no Wikipedia, there was no fan wiki, there was no page, there was no search the internet, find out Spider-Man likes wheat cakes, none of that stuff. You had to read the book to know it, or at least, buy the index books or really go into fanzines to know it. And so there was a hunger, and now it's easy to get. And like when they try to bring Monster High back out, because of the internet age, all the people that still liked Monster High were like, this isn't my Monster High, and they were upset, and they were louder than the people they were trying to sell to, because this information age, and they could be louder because they can have platforms to be loud about it.
Well, the problem is like we were talking about with comics, is people don't move on from it. So toys are meant for like your certain age, you play with them and then you move on. But the problem with Monster High is they didn't move on. My daughter is a huge Monster High fan. She still collects the dolls and stuff like that. So she never let it go. And it's just like a lot of comic book artists didn't let it go. So that, I think, is a fundamental issue that we're dealing with now that we never did before. Because like we were saying early on, you have 10 years to sell to kids, to get those books into kids' hands, and then they move on, right? And then a new age group come in. I mean, there's crossover, obviously, but there's a new age group. So then you can tell the same stories. You can repeat some of the same villains and adventures, because there's a whole new group of people that haven't seen that before. But if they don't move on, then you're repeating the same stories, and that becomes the problem.
Art, you brought up a good point, but you sort of skated over it. I want to get back to it a little bit because I think it's very interesting. You talked about the X-Men, right? So you have a successful title, and they allow people to come in and bring in new characters in to that's already successful title. So Wolverine's still kind of around, but they bring in these new characters, and then it makes those new characters popular. If you take a step back and you look at comics back in the old days, let's go to the 80s, which I think may have been the best creative decade in comics. So they used to take failing titles, right, and give them to guys. And X-Men was dead. X-Men was dead. They let him revamp. X-Men becomes a hit. Daredevil was dead. They give it to Frank Miller. It becomes a hit. Thor is dead. They give it to Simonson, and he makes it a hit. Okay, there's other examples. Now what they do is they go, Batman's our best-selling title. Put everybody we got on Batman and exploit the crap out of it until people are sick of it and don't want to buy it anymore. And they and their sets Metamorpho or their sets whatever. And
right, and they flood the market with tons of Batman.
Why not put Capullo on? I'm just throwing Metamorpho out there, or the Creeper, and really try to elevate this character and make it something that people want to read. And they don't do that at all. They just let you invest everything into a couple of characters, and before you know it, everybody's just sick of those characters. And then you've got nothing. Because
nobody's willing to take a chance on that, because it's riskier to do something like that.
Sure it is. But
I mean, it's just like movies are just like, they're just remakes of other stuff, because nobody really has the forethought or the vision to do anything other, so like make new characters. I had an idea, if like DC or Marvel wanted to change things, and I've said this on my live streams, is if they had, I know I'm going to use mandate, and Dan loves that word, is like mandate, like that you
Hold on, I got to break in with this. $20. Thank you, Jerry Rasco. My daughter and her friends prefer video game characters over superheroes because they can get in on the ground floor and claim fan ownership rather than having to learn 50 plus years of history.
Yep.
That's the risk of the never aging IP. Thank you very much, sincerely, for that $20.
Right.
Man.
And that hops on to my thing about there's a thing. Hold on, Art. Hold on real quick. People, a human nature, they like the discovery. It's the what's in the box, right? What's his face? That did the Lost. His whole series.
The mystery box.
Lindelof.
That it was based on what's in the box. Yeah, there you go. So when you invest in a new character, like say, you know, one of these video game characters, there's nothing you can go back. Who is this person? I need to find out. It's a mystery. I can't go look and find. I have to wait.
Right.
You know, people want that.
But if you came in and started reading Spider-Man tomorrow, or you would have the same thing. You wouldn't know who this character was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like I can see what Jerry. I was just saying I can see what Jerry's saying, but just take 1989 or 1990. You start reading Spider-Man. You know, that doesn't mean you're automatically like, oh crap, I can't start reading Spider-Man. It came out in 1960, you know, 61, whatever it was. I can't go back that far because that's still, you know, from 90 to 61, a long time, almost 30 years. So I kind of agree with Jerry, but at the same time, I think if the writing is done right and the stories are presented properly, I don't think you have to. And that's where I kind of think like that floating timeline works, because you can pick up a spider. Because what was Stanley always said? Every comic is somebody's first.
Yeah, every comic is someone's
and
first.
And was it Stan that had the mandate of like within the first 4 or 5 pages, character names, powers being shown?
Hated that though. I mean, there was like, you go back and you read those and they're pretty ham-fisted. Hey, it's good to see you, Betty Brant, Secretary of, you know, hello, Ned.
I don't know if it was that.
Lead
I don't know if it
reporter
was that bad.
No, it was.
If it's like, oh, hey, Betty, what's going on today? And she's sitting at her desk, so you know she's the secretary and stuff, or whatever she was. You know,
there's cooler ways. How's our best reporter doing there? How's our best reporter doing there, Mr. Leeds?
Let me just make my mandate real quick. My mandate was, okay, if the heroes are only as good as their villains, then have all the creative people that work for the company come up with new villains, right? And then pay them like whatever it is. Be generous with the, maybe not the ownership, but with the profit breaks, stuff like that. But make it beneficial to where people would want to give you ideas, and then also say this could come from anybody in the company. A letterist can do it, a colorist can do it, inker, penciler, anybody. A good idea is a good idea, and they can come from anywhere. And I would do that, and then I would just get those contracts, and I'd say, let's try this villain, let's try that, because also the way you could reinvigorate a hero is by the villain. So you don't have to change the hero. You just make the villain more contemporary, or you make the world more contemporary. Then all of a sudden it's up to date. It's not old. It's not whatever. And you're doing it all through story. But the problem with these is, like you guys were mentioning, Green Goblin. Well, how many Green Goblin stories can you have? But if you keep bringing in villains, then the hero gets to reinvent himself every time a new villain's there, because it's an obstacle they've never faced before. So then all of a sudden you're telling new stories just based on a villain, a mandate, a corporate mandate. And if you're generous with creatives, they're going to take you up on it, but they're not going to do it. They're not going to give up any ownership or any of this shit to any peons like us. They're not going to do it. But at the same time, that's the only way. You guys talk about Stan Lee, you talk about early Marvel. That's why that succeeded. Spider-Man, new villain almost every issue. Like there was new challenge. There was shit happening, right? You can do that, but people are a lot smarter, and they're not going to give these corporations these ideas or these things for free, and those companies aren't going to pay for them. So then you stagnate and you die. Fine. We're not doing that. Comicsgate, taking chances. We're telling our own stories, and I think that's why it's interesting, and that's why people are digging what we're doing.
Well, that's an excellent point. I mean, it's obvious, but I didn't really think of it in terms of how you just put it. But you look at the most popular superhero comics, and they're the ones always with the best rogues gallery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like Iron
the villains
Man,
make the hero.
No one reads Iron Man, as cool as Iron Man is, because his villains suck. He's got like,
you know what Wonder Woman sucks? If Wonder Woman does not have a rogues gallery.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay,
Batman
real
and
quick.
Spider-Man are just like
I was gonna
amazing.
say, secret ballot. No one could say it. I'm writing down mine out of those two, because that's the tough one. I'm writing it down. Between Spidey and Batman, who has the best rogues gallery? And I don't want to be influenced by anybody else's, so I'm writing
Right.
it down.
So this is what we'll do. We've got 246 people watching. I have a new video from Bella Winters that I want to show.
Ooh.
And we'll do that. And after the video, we'll go around the horn for who has the better rogues gallery. You can write it down, or you can just remember, because it's two characters, Batman or Spider-Man. I can remember that pretty easily. Dan, your mic is off, but
I wanted it to be I wanted it to be a reveal, because if Art said this guy is better because of this, this, and this, and I start thinking, Art's right, I'm gonna change mine. You know what I'm saying?
all right, well, let's watch this and then we'll do it. So everybody's fine. Write down who it is.
Write it down before we start talking about it.
Write it down during the video, but watch the video. Okay, new video from Bella Winters right now.
We're going to be using aliases our next job to relate to each other by your Christian names. And I don't want any talk about yourself personally. That includes where you've been, your wife's name, where you might have done time, or a bank maybe you're robbing. Here are your names: Mr. Brown, Mr. White, Mr. Orange, Mr. Blue, and Mr. Pink.
Why am I Mr. Pink?
Because you're a faggot, all right?
Why can't we pick our own colors?
No way, no way. Tried it once, doesn't work. You have 4 guys all fighting over who's going to be Mr. Black, but they don't know each other, so nobody wants to back down. No way, I pick. You're Mr. Pink. Be thankful you're not Mr. Yellow.
Yeah, but Mr. Brown is a little too close to Mr. Shit.
Mr. Pink sounds like Mr. Pussy. How about if I'm Mr. Purple? That sounds good to me. I'll be Mr. Purple.
You're not Mr. Purple. Some guy on another job is Mr. Purple. You're Mr. Pink.
Who cares what your name is?
Yeah, it's easy for you to say. You're Mr. White. You have a cool-sounding name. All right, look, if it's no big deal to be Mr. Pink, you want to trade?
Hey, nobody's trading with anybody. This ain't a goddamn fucking city council meeting, Now listen up, Mr. Pink. There's 2 ways you can go on this job. My way or the highway. Now what's it gonna be, Mr. Pink?
Jesus Christ, Dennis. Fucking forget about it. It's beneath me, I'm Mr. Pink. Let's move on.
I'll move on when I feel like it.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka.
Yeah.
What's stunning to me is how handsome Billy is. You put him in any that hair, and he's just like, yeah, I'm a movie star, baby.
Hey, I'm happy being Mr. Shit.
Yeah, I'm
I'm Mr. Pink,
man. I want hair like that.
Oh my! Who was the guy with the mustache?
Yeah,
on the far
So-
left.
I don't. Hold on. I think. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll share my screen so we can actually watch it and talk, because I think once again Bella's great because she just takes her own time to do these. She doesn't have to do these. And there's Bella right there. Thank you so much.
Hey,
thank you. That's brilliant.
wonderful.
Very nice. Let's go over, because Graham stuck out to me really well. Obviously, I did. Billy did. Dan did. Art was a little tough, I thought, with no facial hair. Let's share the screen.
Me in the video is exactly like how I looked in 2000.
Actually, that's how. Yeah, that's about right. Actually,
I want to point out something. I think that if you look at all of Belle's videos, that she has used me the most, because she clearly sees my dramatic potential.
I agree with that. I agree.
Oh, is that what that is?
Hey, Ed, you're that actor from Wings. He played the one smartass brother. You look like that guy with hair.
Hey,
I don't know what that actor's name is.
Wait, what guy?
I won a drama award in 9th grade.
Wings.
I won a drama award in 9th grade, and I got it around here someplace. So.
Nice. That
So
chick
got
got
it.
Wings.
Is
Remember
it a
her, that little one? What was her name?
Yeah,
That little
baby.
blondie?
There you go, Bella.
Wow,
See,
Bella
she
says
knows.
Aaron's awesome.
She knows. Thank you,
Because
Bella.
you've never met him off camera, Bella. The guy has a mouth like a freaking trucker behind the scenes. We're like, dude, calm it down. Let's not. If I had just a penny for every F-bomb I've heard Aaron drop in the past 20 some years,
you'd be
Bill
broke.
Gates would be borrowing money from me.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than a drunk Aaron Lepresti.
I know.
Well,
And
you
it's
know,
always
you
takes
gave him
one
that beer.
Revolting.
You gave him that beer.
Yeah, that was the first one. He was already 3 in before we met him. He was at the bar at the hotel.
Wait, damn it.
Oh, there's art. That's art.
Hold on, I gotta do it
Art,
again. I forgot to share the stupid audio. All right, let's do this. All right.
Dan trying to get us back on topic.
That's
All right.
art right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's art right there.
Okay.
Where?
Yeah.
There?
Isn't that
Yeah,
art
with
right
the
there?
beard. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Front
see
and
it.
center.
You know what would be
Look at the
funny
eyes.
if we're the guys from
That's art.
what's the movie with Adam Sandler and his friends? They're
All of them?
yeah, all of them. They're like their dads, and they go. to
Oh
the
shit!
Big Daddy?
No,
No. They did 2
Grown
of
Ups?
them.
yeah, they did.
Grown Up?
Grown
Yes,
Up. That was
Grown
it.
Ups.
Scene from that.
Grown-ups. All right, let's see. Let me know if you guys can hear this. All right.
We're gonna be using
Obviously,
aliases our next job.
I stick out like
to
a sore
relate to
thumb.
each other.
There's Billy. He does. I mean, that
Yeah,
is
Billy,
Billy
man.
from
I don't
2000.
want any
There's
of that.
Graham.
Graham.
There's me.
There's
Yep,
Aaron.
that's
That
Aaron.
includes where you've
Aaron's
been,
like, I look good with hair.
your wife's
I
name,
do. I used to be a good-looking guy back in the
course.
day.
or bank, maybe you're robbing.
My face fits on all the weirdos.
Yeah, of
Here are your
course.
names.
I'm surprised it
Dennis.
has a voice work.
Brown,
Look at that.
Mr. Orange.
Look at Graham. His hair.
Faggot, all right?
Why can't we pick our own colors?
See, maybe it is Art Thibert, but the mustache.
It is, yeah.
You have 4 guys all fighting over who's going to be Mr. Black, but they don't know each other, so nobody wants to back down. No way. I pick. You're Mr. Pink. Be thankful you're not Mr. Yellow.
Yeah, but Mr. Brown is a little too close to Mr. Shit.
Dude, that is so you, Dan. It totally does with the hairpiece.
Not Mr.
Yeah.
Purple.
That's great.
Some guy
Man,
on
that
the
could be a
job.
picture of you and I from like Comic-Con 95 or something.
It's true.
Here's what your name is.
Yeah, that's easy for you to say. You're Mr. White. You have a cool sounding name.
Hey, I
All
could
right,
probably
look, there's no
use
big
this to
deal
try
to
to get
Mr.
Dennis to
Pink. You wanna
shave his
trade?
head. Now
Hey,
they can see what he looks
Nobody's
like bald.
trading with anybody.
He would look cool. He'd look
In a
like the
goddamn
Kingpin.
fucking city council meeting, you know? Now listen up, Mr. Pink. There's 2 ways you can go on this job. My way or the highway.
Read that.
Now what's it gonna be, Mr. Pink?
Look at me with my hair. I don't care what my name is. I'm just so thankful to have hair.
I'll move
Show
on.
that to Shelly after.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga.
Well done. That's brilliant.
I wish, because Dan didn't see it, I wish I had a video of Aaron from last night. Dan,
Oh my gosh, that was
What
freaking
was last night?
unbelievable.
what
it
was the
was-
movie? I still can't remember the name of the movie, but I loved it in theaters.
It's the
It's
guy- it's
Bob
the guy that-
Odenkirk is the real tough guy. Mr. Nobody or something like that.
Yeah, he plays like a former CIA agent or something like that, and his family doesn't know about it. But it's the guy from Better Call Saul or whatever.
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, that's
What it was, Dan, is it was Aaron kicking ass in a subway. Like it's a killer fight. With
bus.
But the thing is, the funny part about it was the criticism.
yeah.
Like edit, because those pictures of me that she used, that Belle used, were like somebody was talking about something really disgusting on Kings, and I was just like going overboard with the I can't take it, you know. But then they put it in with the criticism, and it's so funny.
Does Belle have it shared on her website?
I was just say, hey, Belle, do you have that shared on your X account? And if you don't, if you want to DM it to me, I'll pull it up and play it because I know Dan would just lose.
Yeah, Aaron,
Dan,
my
this is
favorite
so
part of that-
freaking good, Dan.
last night, my favorite part is just that Graham ghost voice over and
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Driving me nuts.
Oh
But
my
remember,
God.
like, but you see Aaron getting angry, like Aaron, this Aaron, you know, the real time Aaron, and because so you see Ethan starts talking, and then Graham just launches, and then fucking Jimmy comes in and just starts saying shit. And what was one like that leg looks like it's coming out of her butt? Someone
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
No, that was Graham that said that.
Yeah.
You got
And I'm
dog
like,
pile,
you want me
man.
to rewrite the script, Graham? You know, I mean, it's like, oh gosh, that's so funny.
Hold on. I just went to Twitter X whatever. So
Anyways, mine is
if it
bad.
comes through, I'll play it. Oh yeah, we can do that. Let's go around the horn while we wait. Aaron has to go first. Oh my God, they're all holding him up. Fine.
Oh wait,
Batman.
Batman.
Spider-Man.
Batman.
Here's the problem.
Tiebreak us.
I had to be objective. And
Tiebreak us, Aaron.
Hang on a second. Spider-Man's always been my favorite, but objectively, Batman's villains are off the chart. So I had to Batman.
Oh, dude.
Batman
they're
wins,
both- Okay,
yeah.
listen. It's a really tough one. It's a tough one because they're both wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
I'm saying Spider-Man.
And you know, the
I'm
interesting thing is, Frank, the FF launched not necessarily great villains, but like so many characters that ended up being their own series or whatever launched in the FF, where all these other guys had these great villains every issue. The FF was like, oh, Silver Surfer, oh, Galactus, oh, the list goes
Black
on and
Panther,
on with these different characters. Warlock, that just ended up being their own Inhumans. You know, there was a different formula because they had decent villains, I guess, but they launched more superheroes on the FF than they did villains.
It's true.
It's interesting.
Inhumans, the Inhumans, Black Panther. Yes, baby.
Yeah, Black Panther.
Oh, you took her head off?
Oh no.
Oh no.
She's playing with opposable figures and she's like, oh. You try to adjust it and it popped. Yeah. Here, let me get it.
All right, I got the video.
You go.
All right.
Oh, cool.
All right, I'm gonna share the screen, so because that's the easiest way to do it. So, all right, are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Dan, paying attention.
Oh my gosh! Share the
You know what? It was so
screen I
good. You
posted
didn't
there.
need that fucking-
This is a page I just got back. From
Hold
that
on a
line. I
second
showed the
here. What is
pencils,
this? Wow.
And this one looks like inked.
I recognize that voice.
Yeah, do you?
You know what I would say though? I would say one thing. I really like this. This is impressive. But the trees, the black silhouettes of the trees, what they're doing, because they're perfectly like shaped around his shape at the top, they make it look like that's like not finished.
I think
Look at Aaron's face.
I think you're spot on about the
There's Aaron taking some criticism.
And the coloring would definitely pop them, but the black is so great at silhouetting that figure. I think some more trees back there would be great. If we're doing a little critique here, the left leg on Kit, you should see
that is tough.
thigh there, because that,
Graham, what are you
that
doing?
leg looks like it's sticking out of her butt. I don't like monkeys. There shouldn't be a monkey in here.
Yeah, take
I
love that. I don't like
monkeys.
Graham, anything else?
Thicker lines on the rocks that are in the foreground.
Who put that together?
Watch.
I know this movie.
Is that better?
It's Nobody.
No. What's the one where he's in it?
Oh, please let them in.
Yes, it's a good movie.
What is
What's
you
that
guys
one
kinda
called?
Remind me of Ethan, Graham, and
I'm
Jimmy.
blanking on it. Is it no one?
Go on,
Nobody?
throw a
Watch the video.
Ah, pussy. Guess today was National Be a Jerk Day. All right, time to blossom steam.
This is great.
Hey, check it. What do you want, bitch?
I'm gonna mess you up.
say?
Well, would you look at the time? Let's beat down a clock.
Yes. Get him,
This
Aaron.
is what happens after he has one beer, Billy.
What movie is this? What movie is this?
And if we're doing a little critique here,
Just keep watching. You gotta listen.
left leg.
Oh, it reminds me of the rocks that are in the foreground.
Run! I don't like monkeys. There should be a monkey. I gotta do this.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I had a couple good points.
I like all the thoughts going through your head, all the playbacks. That was good stuff.
It was Graham's voice. It was hilarious. I don't like monkeys.
I know. I love that.
Like, why do you even have a monkey in it? Why is there a monkey or something?
Nobody. Who was it actually in that movie?
Bob Odenkirk played nobody. Played that guy.
Wow.
You've never seen it, Dan?
No, I need to see that.
Dude,
movie
it is
now.
awesome.
What time is it? It's beatdown time.
No, I love that. Well, I didn't catch it last night when they walk on the bus, and your thought is, that's like Graham, Ethan, and Jimmy, or something like that.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. He thought it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is
it on? Is it streaming right now?
What, the movie Nobody?
Yeah.
Dude, it came out like 2 years ago. It should be.
Okay, I gotta find it. I'll try to watch that this week.
Dude, it is a really good movie because Bob Odenkirk playing a hard ass like that, and his family doesn't know about it. It's from the guys that somebody in the chat said, I'm pretty sure they're right. It's from the guys that did John Wick. And I thought there was supposed to be a sequel, but I don't know. It did well.
They're saying it's called just Nobody. It's not Mr. Nobody. It's just
A
Nobody.
lot like that movie Michael Douglas Falling Down.
Yeah,
but
Falling
just
Down.
more
That's what I was
badass.
saying.
Yeah, but in Falling Down, Michael Douglas didn't have a background of like a CIA
but
guy
he
or anything.
got
Did
a
he?
hold of a machine gun.
No,
Yeah.
but it's the same idea, like an average Joe taking abuse and then finally breaking and then like dishing it back out. So it's fantastic, man. I can't believe the likeness. As soon as I saw you, Aaron, sitting on that bench alone, I was like, oh shit, I already lost it right there. It's hilarious. You had
Later that night, just festering.
I know. I don't criticize me, man. Don't do it.
It's gonna end bad.
Oh, so it actually came out in 2021.
Holy smokes, man.
Do you want to see the trailer?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna do
I don't
it.
want to
So
get you struck, dude.
no, I'm gonna play it a little. I'm gonna play it a little faster.
All right.
You know, we
than
should
normal.
call this one the tangent episode because I don't think we stayed on topic longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You shut your mouth. All right, I'm speeding it up to 1.5 times speed, so just keep that in mind.
Dad, I don't know how to get this blanket.
Oh, you broke her leg?
Bella is awesome.
Oh my god, that kid's rough.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready, dude.
All right. Remember, I sped it up to 1.5.
Excuse me. I was gonna say he's really fast.
So they took maybe $20 on an old watch. Mr. Madsen, did you even take a swing?
No. Could have taken her, Dad. Heard you had some excitement last night. I wish they'd have picked my place, you know?
Why didn't you take them out? I was just trying to keep the damage to a minimum. Yeah, how's that working out for you?
Okay, put it on. Okay.
I'm already wanting to see this movie.
There's Aaron.
I'm already into this.
Yeah, me too.
Oh man.
Oh, you never seen it, Billy?
No.
Oh, it's so great.
It's been a hell of a day. You can see that. For 12 years, I worked for some very dangerous people.
Oh, they woke a bear, basically.
Don't call 911. I used to be what they call an auditor. The last guy anyone wants to see at their door. Because it meant you didn't have long to live. But I left it behind to start a family. I might have overcorrected.
When you left, you abandoned a certain debt that needs repayment, and your creditor is aware of your resurrection.
They came after my family.
It's for my kitty cat bracelet.
And you don't fucking do that. Give me the goddamn kitty cat bracelet! You look like shit. Dad, you should see the other guys.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, man.
This is my cup of tea.
I'm nobody.
You know, it kind of tickles the Peter Parker magic. You know, the thing I liked about Peter Parker as a kid was his restraint. You know, he had to be the nerd, but he had all the power, and you could see Mr. Nobody was living that life. Hey, I'm good, and then tip.
Well, what it was, and I mean, this isn't like a spoiler. His house gets broken into, as they talked about in the trailer. And one of the things they took was his daughter's bracelet.
Oh, that's why he's like.
So in the trailer, when he goes, "I want that bracelet" or whatever, yeah.
Give me
that goddamn bracelet. Kitty cat bracelet. But I mean, Aaron, dude, out of all the videos, your face fits that perfect.
Yeah, it does.
It's amazing how she gets the hair like from the movie, like. That was that Odenkerk's hair from the movie on Aaron's head. It was awesome.
Yeah. I don't get how they did it, but it's cool.
Did Shelley see that?
I don't think she's seen it yet because she wasn't watching King. She was asleep. And so I said, you got to check this out.
She might start expecting things from you.
I think you're going to have a whole new Shelley if she sees that. But
man, I had Samantha was out with one of her friends. And just like randomly, they'll text me dumb things, and she's like, "Hey, can you beat up so and so's dad, the guy that her friend that she was with?" And I said, "I'm 60." No, asked me that 30 years ago, and maybe I would have answered differently.
And then she writes back, "But he's as big as Peter Dinklage." And Aaron writes back, "Still a no."
Yeah, still a no. It ain't happening.
And he's as tall as Peter Dinklage, and he's in a wheelchair. Still a no.
You don't want to get like it hurts by a midget.
Oh, what were you talking about? I don't remember.
We're done.
Yeah. Hey, Billy, out of curiosity, getting back real quick to the topic, this circle back.
By curious?
No.
It's a mandate. It's a mandate.
When with she being 30 years ago,
it's shy.
She's shy. Yes, I'm sorry. It's shy. With she being 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I know you've aged her up because she has a daughter now, right?
Yes. Yep.
But she's not, it's not 30 years later.
No, it's about 20 years after.
Is it really? It's about 20
years. So we've aged her 20 years. So she's like, close to 50. Her daughter's 15. So she's, late 40s.
But she's a hot 50.
Right.
She's a hot 50.
She is a hot 50.
Oh, yeah,
I would never have guessed she was 50.
Yeah. I
would have said 40 something.
Well, yeah, she's like, say if her daughter's 15. So say she had her daughter at 27 or so, right? So what would that be?
Okay.
Anyone know math? I don't know. I can't.
42.
Yeah, so say she's 42, 43. Yeah, about that.
Okay. And then going forward though, so let's say you put out one new she book a year or something, would you use that as a real time, or would you just be like, keep it flexible?
No, I got a lot of stories. We're working, we have it's still basically weeks or months since we first launched Return of the Warrior.
Okay.
So it's really like just months that the next storyline will be.
Right.
Because it's, because I have plans for when her daughter does hit 16, when her father gets out of jail, who was a police officer in the book. So we have a lot of plans. A lot of plans, buddy.
A lot of plans. That's cool. I mean, that's kind of what the topic was.
But I like it. Like, not to sound like a dick at all, but looking at our wives, right? And looking at my wife Debbie, I mean, she's never been more beautiful to me. So I'm like, why not have a comic character grow up?
Sure. Why
not do that? That she is in, there's some funny scenes in the first book where, well, in all of them where she's trying, she tries to put the old costume on and it rips. You know what I mean?
No way.
Yeah, she's like trying to put on and it's like, oh my God. And then she's got glasses on and she's trying to sew it. I'll show you if I can grab something. Hang on.
That's funny. It was earlier today when Aaron called me to, beg me to play his intro. He also said, Andy, I got to tell you, it's been 24 years and you've never looked more handsome to me. I was like, well, I appreciate that, big guy.
Big guy.
Yeah, Aaron, you sweetened up the deal by giving him compliments, man. You know what?
He wants that video. He wants that intro played. He loves Lizzo.
Andy has a compliment void that cannot be filled.
It's a deep, deep chasm.
Yeah.
It's almost like the moon. It's kind of hollow on the inside.
Yeah, dong.
Yeah. Hey, raise your hand if you think we landed on the moon. Art's not going there. Oh, Billy does. Art's not participating.
Thibert is not going there, huh?
We've got one man down.
Dan doesn't buy it. He's saying, no way. No moon landing for Dan.
Wow. I bet you, Dan, you think that there was another shooter during JFK's assassination too.
That's absolutely right.
Shit.
That's absolutely right.
Save it for November, boys.
Yeah,
that's what we're having.
Hey, listen. I have my own experience. This wasn't just red facts, and I'm sure you went there too.
Oh, let's not. There. We did this last night. Let's like
we're doing a special show.
Do this again.
We're doing a special show on the DNA show in November.
Let's do
the week of the assassination, where we've got 2 guests going with Oswald and 2 guests going with multiple. And 2 of the people are on the panel right now. And I'm moderating.
There you go.
Great. I'm in. I'm in.
So
man.
if you want to see what I did, and I actually mocked the opening of She.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I have her. I get a little fun, a little racy here. So here she's trying on.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah. So she goes and she finds her. It's in a closet. You see, it's down in the
yeah.
And then she goes and put it on, and then you see her so she tries to put
the shit, look at that.
And it fucking rips and she's like, oh my God. And then now I got her the next page. Look, she's got her glasses on and she's trying to sew it, like what the fuck was I thinking? And then she put the skirt on over it. And then she talks like how the years, the years, see, the white makeup makes her look better. How when she puts the makeup on.
Yeah.
So it's fun, And she gets tired. She gets beat up. It's like, oh, what? But her daughter's kidnapped, so that's why she's doing it, because she has to.
No, I got to go back and reread it.
Is there a bracelet involved with a little cat on it?
Yeah, kitty cat watch or bracelet.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
We got a little. We get pretty wild, Crusade Comics.
See, when you said her costume ripped, I thought it was something like around the waist. You actually, dude, I don't know if you realize this, you kind of went worse because generally everybody gets thicker around the waist as we age, men, women, whatever. Dude, you went right for the thighs. You're like, F it. I'm going for the thighs. Her thighs got so big, it tears her costume up.
Yeah,
well, maybe her costume's just old and hasn't been worn in a while, so it just ripped.
There were moths in that closet.
Yeah, and it's more.
And
so
maybe she's always been
so there's from the first. Now this is over 30 years ago. I drew this, but so there she's putting it on the first time. So then when she does it 20 years later, it fucking rips, and she's like, oh. And then she has to wear like her peepers to see the needle. And
that's great. That's hilarious.
Yeah, get a little fun
stuff. Yeah.
The next Wraith of God, when he puts his trench coat on, it's just going to rip. It's going to be like Fat Man in a little coat from Tommy
He's
Boy.
gonna have like a big old pot belly, and
She's gonna put on her shoe, and the thing's gonna rip a little and show this much more ankle.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Ooh.
The side of the shoe's going to just crack just a little bit. Art's going a different way, I heard, in black and white. I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil it, Art. I know you told me in confidence.
Yeah.
White is actually going to go and start binging and purging. So when she puts her costume on, it's just going to hang off of her because she's going to have that. She's going to have that Karen Carpenter body.
Oh,
and
you know what's funny about that, Andy, is the original black and white. It did fit like that because the sparring suit was made for a man. So
I remember.
Yeah, so it's all baggy on her and everything. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I reveal in Wraith of God 3, the secret villain that was introduced in Wraith of God 2 is actually Paul Lind.
Oh, damn it.
He's the
Spoiler
secret
alert.
He's the secret square.
Was that his name? Secret Square?
He was the secret square.
Secret Square.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He was the secret
Well, looks
square.
aren't everything.
No, they're not. Oh boy.
What do you say?
Oh, good times.
What makes, if you ever saw the one, he said, "Hey, Paul, what makes monkeys cry?" And he goes, "Oh, when he learns that Tarzan swings both ways."
So there's a story about Paul Lind being in first class on an airplane, right? And this little kid keeps running up into first class, and he's just so annoying. And and this is first class, you got the curtain, all that stuff. This kid keeps running up there and whatnot, and the parents are having a hard time controlling him. And Paul Lind just loses it, and he goes, "The next time that kid runs up here, I'm gonna fuck him if you don't control him."
Wow.
Couldn't get away with that today, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't think you could get away with it then.
Yeah, I know. I don't think that flew over too well back then until they're like, it's Paul Lind. Let it go.
Yeah, I would have went all Aaron in a bus on that guy.
Aaron on a bus
It's
should be the name of
time.
a movie too. Aaron.
Aaron on a bus.
It should be a T-shirt. Aaron on a bus. And he goes.
I think I'm not saying Miss Winters should do this, but I do think if Aaron's face was on, let's say, Forrest Gump sitting on a bench, eating a box of chocolates with some new fresh dialogue, could be rather entertaining.
Actually, I have a chocolate addiction, so I do have.
So do I. Look at. I know this is. It says it's the standard lint 90%. But what's great is if you look at the back, my nephew brought this back from Denmark.
Hold on, I'll full screen you.
It is
Let's
so
see.
tasty. See how it's in all different languages?
Oh yeah, that was a waste of my time. Yep.
Pringle de Sprunkle. Oh, it's so good. 90%, baby.
Hey Dan, do you remember Mark Pasilla?
Of course I do.
He used to eat chocolate-covered coffee beans.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
Chocolate-covered
And I was
espresso
like,
beans.
I mean, he would eat them just. And I
Not
was like,
ground up. He just ate them like they were food.
yeah,
No,
like
coffee
they were
covered,
literally
covered,
like chocolate-covered, like chocolate-covered
it's-
raisins, but they
yeah.
were coffee beans.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
okay.
espresso beans. They're smaller. I know what you're
Espresso
talking about.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big coffee fan. I don't like that. That's
Whoa,
one of the few things
what? You
I don't
like
drink coffee.
chocolate but don't like coffee?
I
But
know.
can you imagine the caffeine in just one of those?
Yeah.
Those handfuls.
Dude,
That's
I want
probably
to
why
try
it
it
was
now.
Have you talked to him in a while at all, Pasella?
I talk to him every once in a while. Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing storyboards.
Is he still with Louisa?
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, tell him I said hi. I mean, it's been decades.
yeah.
That's
He had
cool.
a brush with cancer and he kicked it. So he's doing
Well,
pretty good. Yeah.
good.
Hey, can one of you guys? I can't pull up the actual link that Brian shared because when I click it, it just shows. But one of you guys could copy and paste it, and then we could play it.
Hold on, let me grab
I
it.
think I could do it too.
We'll see who's faster.
Ooh, well, Dan, it's you
I know. That's why
in
I
the
have 4
sack.
kids.
I mean, Billy is,
I got it.
I'm letting the ad play. I'm letting the ad play.
Oh shoot! You got
Yeah.
it, Dan. It's all you, Danny boy.
Okay, there it is. I got it. It's up. It's
You got
ready.
to the 50-second mark?
No, but I will have it at the 50-second mark. Yeah.
While you're doing that, so I got, I've got that peanut butter whiskey, and I went out and bought some chocolate liqueur. Mix those two together. Oh, that's a good tasting drink. Let me
What is
tell
it?
you.
That Godiva
There we
liqueur?
go.
Pretty
Ready.
good.
Yeah. All right.
Ready to roll.
Do it.
Learning that Tarzan swings both ways.
And it's a bizarre double entendre way. It was almost subtle. I'm sure there are people who had no idea what that meant.
What?
Oh, that was it.
That was it. It was just the Tarzan swing both ways.
What was
okay
going on with the that other square at the end there? I've
That's
never
Bruce
seen that.
Valanche.
I don't
That
know
guy's
who
What's
that
he
is.
known for?
He's a writer, and he's
Yeah.
not that funny. He's after Paul Lynde died, he became the resident gay guy on.
Is he still around?
He didn't look very healthy back then, so
I was going to say that dude can't be around anymore.
And dude, the thing that's great about Paul.
Oh, roll
Lynde
it back. It's the 40-second mark.
Okay,
God,
Yeah, you gotta hear the whole thing.
you wrote 50-second mark, Blevins. Billy, bring it up.
Blevins.
I already got rid of
Damn you, Blevins.
All right, I'll
Blevins.
put a 50-second mark. All right, hang on.
40.
40.
All right, 40-second mark. All right, hang on. Let me skip the ad.
Blevins.
Tarzan swings.
We love you, Brian Blevins.
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 God bless Brian Blevins. All right, we got. Let me share it.
Blevins.
All right, here we
Whoa,
go.
whoa, whoa! What is that? Hang on.
That was Dan, I think, making noise, wasn't
That
it?
was Beeble Bubble Bubble Beeble.
Oh,
Bubble.
okay,
Yes,
okay. So this is we're at 46. Let me go back a little bit.
Go back to 40. Well, the thing about Paul Lynde is he had a personality, you know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was great. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane that they were doing this.
Anything bring tears to a monkey's eyes.
Watch the thoughts going through his face. How far can I go till the straight people notice?
Learning that Tarzan swings both ways.
And it's a bizarre double entendre way.
Just that smile after he says it. He cracked himself up.
He cracks himself up. He was just brilliant, man. Let's see. Here's another
He
one.
was.
Let's see this is. Hang on, I got one
A
here.
minute long. Just play the whole thing.
All right.
Yeah, I don't care.
All right. Here we go.
Looking a fairy. Generally, good.
Oh, this is a really
Oh,
good one.
Barbara Eden.
No.
Yeah,
No.
this is a really good one, guys. You got to watch this one. You ready?
Maybe we're in the middle of an.
Am I full screen? Hang on, let me. Yeah, it's full screen. No, it's not. Is it?
Yeah.
Let me full screen. I'll go full screen. Hang on, it'll look better. There you go.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
Let me go back a little bit, just a wee bit. Look at
Just a wee bit,
the
lad.
little smoke show. Barbara Eden.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure
Yeah.
it's loud enough. All right, here we go.
Who's generally better looking, a fairy or a pixie?
Oh, no.
Looks aren't everything. I'll go for the fairy.
Can they say that? Oh, this kills me. This is 30, 40 years ago. I mean, it's insane that they were doing this.
Anything bring tears to a monkey's eyes.
Watch the thoughts going through his face. How far can I go till the straight people notice?
Learning that Tarzan swings both ways.
And it's a bizarre double entendre way. It was almost subtle.
Smile.
I'm sure there are people
It
who had
is,
no idea what that meant.
Oh, there's so many of them.
Oh my God, that teeth, that smile. He's just like, eh.
I gotcha.
Well, there was that great one. They go, "Why do butchers pound their meat?" And he's like, "Loneliness."
Oh, loneliness.
Yeah.
Never seen that one. Loneliness. Billy, do it.
All
Why
right,
do-
I'll do it.
Billy, why do butchers? No, don't find it. Just do your paw. Why do butchers pound their meat, Mr. Lind?
Oh, loneliness. Poor zingers, man, all over the place. Zingers.
Oh shit, that's
Here's
great.
another one. That's the Paul Lynde. That's
that
long.
dude.
I'll try to find something good.
Well, that's the
Oh
show,
my-
folks.
That's
It's
the
just
show.
brilliant.
That's it.
All right, we're gonna go around the horn. Pimp it if you got him, Aaron.
Kit Carter Planet Doom. Let's see. Almost completely colored, getting lettered. The sketchbook is being put together. Will go to the printers this week. I did finally finished. Put the finishing touches. I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, wait, full screen. Hold on. Okay.
Whoa, buddy.
Oh,
wow.
dude.
This is the movie poster painting. I am done with it. And
Man, that came out
gorgeous.
great.
Thank you, guys.
Holy shit.
So I'll put
Who painted
this
that?
together.
Seriously.
Yeah, I know. Not me.
It's like a paperback novel.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to put up the mock-up with this art in it for the movie poster, get it on the campaign page, because I know there's people that said they were waiting to see what the actual movie poster looked like before they would back it.
Can we see where your
there it is.
signature is? Where's your signature?
Yeah, where's your signature?
I
He just wants it verified that you actually did.
I've been tweaking it for 3 days. I keep going, I'm going to touch up here. I'm going to touch up there. And but I'm done with it.
Hey, when
now.
you sign it, are you going to spell your last name Jusko?
I know. You gotta,
Right?
Joe. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I got to send this over to Joe to get like last second comments.
Joe texted me. He's like, motherfucker, you couldn't pick me as one of your favorite painters. He was, remember we had like our favorite comic artist.
But you know what? Billy, I
didn't. That I didn't pick him. I'm like,
he sent me a message.
That's gorgeous.
Me.
Thank you.
Like,
no way.
Yes, he did. Yes.
And anyway, the
Joe.
campaign's going to be closed in like probably a week or so. So get out there and back it if you haven't yet. If you have, thank you so much. Art.
There you go. Art to bear.
Okay, I'm sharing.
I got it.
All right. So this is Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. We launched this thing yesterday. So it's been about 24 hours now. So we're 6,674. We got 47 backers. There's rooms for a lot more. And you guys, I want to thank everybody so far that has backed and supported this project. I appreciate it. So this is Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. This is a 60-page hardcover, 9x12. It's a gorgeous looking book. It's basically a compilation of 40 years in this wacky industry of comic books. And so it's all compiled in this. I got a quote from a living legend, which is Kevin Nolan. So click that link. I think it's in the description. There's a Kevin Nolan Art Thibert Jam Batman headshot there.
Are you going to print that? Hey, real quick, are you going to print that bigger in the book?
This isn't going to be in the book. This is
no, I
just
meant the headshot.
No, the headshot's not in the book. Should I put it in the
bastard? Yes.
Maybe I'll.
Why
Okay,
wouldn't you put that headshot in the book, Art? I don't understand that.
It was in the original. It was on the dust cover, the inside.
Yeah, it was small.
Yeah, but it was small. Yeah, and so here's some of the interior pages. We got a lot of pop culture.
I love that
stuff.
Kirk.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we got a lot of Comicsgate characters. So we got Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog. We got Mandy Summers and Del Keown's Gemshock. We got John Malin's Lilith from Graveyard Shift.
Nice.
Got some of my work from 92 or 93, some cable stuff here, some IP stuff. This was a pitch I did for Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, and Spike TV. It was, I got a lot of attention, but it was a little too spicy for them, so they passed on that. I got the brilliant Billy Tucci's She character as a double page in the book.
Yeah,
Thank
we have
you,
to
Bill.
talk about that too. We got to do something with that.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for allowing me to do this. So it's a work in progress. So we have the thumbnail, we have the inked thumbnail, and then we have the finished production on the right-hand side. This is gorgeous, you guys. This book is like coffee table size. So the artwork is really, it's big. It's not like some of those art books where things are really small. So we have a print set. So we have Del Keown's Pit. Thank you, Del, for allowing me to
That's
bring this
great, dude.
campaign. Thanks.
Yeah, hold on a second.
And so we have some 30th anniversary black and white stuff here. So this is a commemorative 30th anniversary. It was 94 when the series came out. So this October, it will be 30 years. And that's when we're going to launch the new series as well. So this is the big bad. and her name is Juju, and she's going to be in the volume 3 as well. So she was in
cool looking.
ongoing, and she'll be brought back in this new design in the volume 3, which is going to launch in October. So then we have various print sets. We have print A. Keep in mind, all the books, they are signed and numbered. So A comes with a signed and numbered book. B comes with signed and numbered book. And then we have head sketches that will be on the flyleaf. So these are also commemorative. This is the new power suit designs. So those will be on the flyleaf. I have one where you can have me draw black or white or both of them together. And then I have my commissions, which already sold out. And then I have my headshot, my commissions here. So click the link. I believe it's in the description. Come by, check it out. I want to thank everybody for all the support, all the backing. You guys are the best. And this is just the very start. So thanks again. Thank you, bros, and thanks, Andy, for letting me share and take the time.
Hell yeah. You got it, brother. It looks great. All right, Dan's turn. It looks like he's going to show his cybernetics.
Yeah, I'm showing my cybernetics. I got to have my follow-up with the doctor on Thursday. And so you guys can see what they did. This is guys, shush, my lord. That's the other piece of it. I'm home alone for until Friday night with just me and the kids, so it's a little wild here. This is what it looks like from the side, but what I'm really happy to show you is this.
I saw that. That's awesome.
I got my lines back, guys, and this is all 100% brush. And,
nice.
Yeah, and it just felt so good. And so I just want people to know I'm getting back to the drawing board, and stuff's coming out really well. I'm very satisfied with the results, and I can't wait to share them with you.
That's right. You owe me a Kickstarter drawing for my book.
Mr. Tucci.
Now I can do it.
You got a week.
I have a week.
Yeah. I'm getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con. I got some really cool stuff real quick to show. This is done. It's
Full screen. Gotcha.
I can't say what it's for, but it's for a comic book icons character. So I had the honor of doing a cover for him.
I know what that is. That's so fire.
Yeah, we're also doing.
Wow, he just said he can't say what it's for, and
I
Dan
can see what it is. With my own eyes.
You can see anything.
What the fuck, man? I have eyes.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to use them right now.
Zip it, hippie. Zip it.
Dan's the kind of guy that unwraps Christmas presents before Christmas.
Yeah,
I know. I do. I wrap them like January 5th.
Wait a minute.
We got cool stuff. So I'll share. I have for San Diego Comic-Con, getting ready for a lot of stuff. We have our 30th anniversary sketchbook, the first time ever doing Way of the Warrior, my first book in black and white.
Oh, cool.
We did it. We did do it in black and white in this book in '94, right here. But it was just the black plates, and it was limited to 300 copies, 3,000 copies. Cool. We did it, but it printed okay. But we're redoing it again, but with all the original, my original pages. You know, not a black plate, but the original rescans and all the original lettering. And we got our sketch editions. Through Diamond Comics there's only 99 of those. For Diamond Comics, there's only 500 of these. These are only $10. So I'll be signing the Diamond Group. I'll be signing another Icons creator-owned characters book. I did a cover. That's going to debut there too.
Oh yeah, that's the.
Someone's celebrating their 40th anniversary. So I got a chance to draw, which was a dream thing for me to draw those characters.
Hey, 40th anniversary. Thinking.
Dan, you don't know what it is? Even I know what that is.
Yeah. Then I got the wife. I got an old picture of the wife who posing for me that I'm going to make a RC cover
after the show, Dan.
Yeah, stick to the proven. Which I'm gonna do.
I know it.
See, I'm doing a thing called San Diego Secrets. It's the private commissions of Billy Tucci, and it's a bunch of. That's going to be limited to 99 too of my commissions and some covers and stuff like that. I think that's 48 pages. I think that book will be. So I got to do that cover this week, and another #1 book we're going to do. A lot of cool stuff for San Diego Comic-Con.
Beautiful.
Maybe,
and of course,
maybe Lopresti. You got plans Saturday night, Lopez?
he wants to buy you a beer.
When is San Diego?
In 3
July
weeks.
26th, that weekend.
Yeah, what did you say? What did you say, Aaron?
Any night but Saturday. I get to go with the Malibu guys on Saturday night.
All right, so are you by
Say hi
yourself?
to Dave Olbrich.
Yeah, I'm by myself.
Your son's not there?
Nobody, just me.
All right, then you come out
Oh,
Friday
man.
night with us.
Okay.
Let me see if I can fit you in. You didn't get back to me, buddy. When I
You didn't
messaged
send
you.
me an invite,
I
buddy.
sent you a message on the bro stream because you're the only bro.
Okay,
who
well, I never
told
read
me
that. Send me the personal message.
Oh my God. You girls, get a room. KOR-DRATH, The Awakening, guys. Got some more backers. Thank you very much. It's coming. The book is coming along very nicely. KOR-DRATH is back. His tribe was slaughtered in the previous book. He now has the blood of his whole tribe coursing through his veins. The red line tattoo gives him extra strength to take on the big bad 12-foot tall Vordoom in this book. They will meet up. They will clash. Who will regain control of the Shattered Reach? You must back KOR-DRATH to find out.
Do it
We got
now.
preview pages up. Do it now.
Back it now.
Now. Check out the preview pages, guys. Links, by the way, for everybody's stuff is in the description below. So please click on them, back them. We've got lots of covers, a new game module, of course.
I love this cover,
Chris-
dude. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Chris Thacker did a great job painting up.
He's in the house. He's
The
in the house.
5-inch. Yes, he is. Grab the figurine.
That's gorgeous.
So
that man's got good taste in ginger beer.
That's beautiful, dude.
That is
Chris is the
amazing.
man.
Yeah. That
So
is
if you
so
if
good,
you
man.
get the figure, you can contact Chris on X,
beautiful,
formerly known
man.
as Twitter, and work a deal. And he'll tell you what he charges to paint it. So go get that. Back it, guys. We're closing in on the 50,000 stretch goal, which is, let me just scroll down here. New game module, of course. The Vordoom playable character card. We did 4 character cards with the first campaign. We've got more planned for this one, and we're very close to unlocking this first one. So thank you, guys. And then coming this Friday is KOR-DRATH, A Christmas Miracle.
Oh.
Trailer, you say? Okay.
It's gonna take a miracle.
Look at that nice boob shot.
Nice.
I like the kind of animated style. That's cool.
I love to read.
Well, it is a children's book. That's right. Love to read. 24 pages. Also, there will be a 32-page black and white version with 8 pages of activities, crosswords, dot to dots, fun things like that for kids.
Ooh, I may
Sign
get
up
that.
today, launching on Friday. So, and it will be shipping in November, just in time for this Christmas. So go check that out, guys.
Isn't
And
that
there you go.
special?
It's
So
so
special.
special. So yeah, go check all that out. And thank you for joining us on this episode of The Bros. Next week, it is Art to Bear's turn. He told me on the phone today, next week, the topic is going to be Oodles of Doodles and why I'm so great. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, Art, sounds a little self-serving, but I guess we can do that for you. It's your show.
I'm going to talk about art books, but somehow I'm going to segue into my art book. So
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Is the art ofs? There's a lot of good ones out there.
yeah, yeah.
What about
you.
the shard of?
Okay,
There's no
Dan,
such
that's
thing.
it.
There's
Apparently,
I'm
non-alcoholic beer does affect Dan.
I'm
So
selling.
who knew?
It's the shit, baby.
Oh my God, that is it. Everybody, thank you for watching the show. I'm not even playing anything to end us. We're just waving goodbye. I hit end. Any